Hey everybody, how you doing? It was a good day today. I've been a little under the weather, some kind of stomach bug or something like that, but doing okay and feeling better. Um, it's been a crazy week this week with our pet and everything. It's got you kind of down, when you have a beloved pet that, it's time. Um, but I got a lot of things going on this weekend, and I'm really hoping to cheer myself up. I have to be honest with you, because it does hurt. It does hurt a lot. So this weekend, I'm getting together with some family, and we're heading down to the deer lease, and I'm hoping that one of them is going to bring their drone with them, so we'll fly that around the lease. That should be a lot of fun. We'll try to get some footage from that if we can. And on top of all that, we're going to shoot some guns. I'm going to try to get some slow motion if I can get this stupid thing sighted in properly, so that I actually can hit a target well. I'm going to take the GoPro out there so I can set it up for some slow motion shots. So we'll get some good things going on that, and hopefully get some progress done on my actual little shelter down there. I'm working on a modified shipping container down there, and hopefully when it's all said and done, it'll look really nice and it'll be a great little escape. But needs a lot of work. I mean, it is just a metal box built for shipping the stuff across the sea, so now it's mine. But other than that, it's a lovely little thing. I've already got some wall put up in it and some lights, but work in progress. Work in progress. A lot of work. So I plan on getting it all ready, and I'm preparing for this fall season. It'll be the first time I can actually use it for this season, which is very exciting in itself. I'm also planning on building a deer blind later on. Um, they have one that I can use, my family does, but I just don't like using other people's things. If it's something that I can avoid, there's something that comes with a pride of using your own stuff. Um, and I enjoy that. So it's kind of like they always tell me, "Oh, Chris, you don't have to use, you don't have to go out and buy a deer rifle. Just use one of ours, or just use this, or just use ours." It really makes you feel like a user a lot of times. And even though it's family and they're kind enough and generous enough to allow me to, and I do appreciate it. You know, I it's kind of like the old saying, neither a borrower nor a lender be. It's kind of like that. If you lend something to somebody, don't expect it back. Just give it to them. If you can't afford to give somebody something, don't don't give it to them because you can't afford it. It's just a good policy, because if you give something to somebody and you expect it back and you don't get it back, then it puts you in a difficult position and it stresses relationships. So I as a general policy, I try not to use people's things if I can avoid it. So that's why I'm trying to build my own deer blind here shortly, and that'll be a process that I'm definitely going to vlog about. Probably more of a time lapse type thing, um, because it is a lengthy process. You do have to make it large enough to be comfortable in, and especially when you're like me, a little bit larger size, then you can't be just in this tiny little box. It's not comfortable. It's not fun, and it doesn't make it enjoyable. And not to mention, deer season's in the fall, and it's usually cold. So you got to insulate it and do all the things with that. So you got a lot of work coming up this summer for that, and I'm really looking forward to that because it unplugs me from my desk job. It unplugs me from my computer work. It unplugs me from worrying about projects that I have to get out, and it's something very enjoyable. I'm also looking at getting into a kayak this year. Um, I have to get a tow hitch put on our SUV, but I want to get a kayak. I'm trying to shop around for a used kayak. I'm not looking to spend tons of money on a kayak and then turn around and think, "Oh, Jesus, this stinks. I don't like being in a kayak." Or every time I hop in that thing, my big butt flips it over. So but it's always something I've wanted to do, and I really do think that it'd be a ton of fun. But I got to get into one and see first. But I got that looking for me too this summer. A lot of things going on. I think I think the word right now is change. Um, Life right now is about change, and it's always been change. But you got to realize that like things change, things move on, things get better, things get worse, but they all change. And you shouldn't be afraid of change. You should just embrace it because you've got no choice. You can't really fight change. So when things change, just do the best you can. Because in life, that's all you can really do. The best you can. Because if you don't do your best, then you're going to regret it. I know that there's been a lot of times in my life where I look back and I've thought, well, I could have tried harder. Or I could have done this. Or I could have done that. But realistically, I don't regret it. Because for whatever reason, for whatever path, for whatever mistake, for whatever folly, I am where I am. And you don't know what you would be otherwise. You know, if you go back and you say, well, I regret or I should have done, then you don't know where you would be right now. It could be much, much, much worse. Could be much better. But look around you, you know. Is what you have so much so horrible that you actually want to do, wish you'd done things differently? And I'm not talking about little regrets or anything like that. Like, oh, gee, I wish I should have had, you know, a different soda that day, or I wish I had that, or ooh, your dessert looks better than mine. I wish I had that. I mean, like, life choices that you make. So don't waste too much time thinking on what you could have done or what you think you should have done, or that you tried harder, or that you wish you hadn't tried as hard. Because we all made life choices that leads us to where we are on this very day, in this very moment. And those were the changes in our lives that were made, and this is where we are. So, you gotta make the best of it. And I hope you had a great day today. And I hope tomorrow is even better. Until then, I'll talk to you later.